It's me, Liz Yuille from Old Staples Crafts. Thank you for joining me for another Top Tip Tuesday. And today is the last of the Adhesive mini-series, looking at fine tip glue, which I will start in a moment. So, first thing to say is someone commented, actually sent me an email, bless her, over the weekend, concerned that my hair was somewhat shorter than normal. Let it be said, this was voluntary. This is not a health issue. I marked, I think is possibly a better word, the 10th anniversary of my breast cancer diagnosis a couple of weeks ago, and I'm well, so in order to help raise awareness, so if it hits anybody else, they can also be well by picking it up early, I decided to have my head shaved for charity. So this is about 2 weeks of growth, and quite grey. Could be interesting as it gets longer. Anyway, right, back to Top Tip Tuesday and fine tip glue. So let me flip the camera down, and I've had my fine tip glue upside down. I would always recommend, particularly when it gets less full, that you store it upside down, purely to stop air bubbles. And I will explain why I am concerned about air bubbles in a moment. But this is our fine tip glue. It has not been a favourite of mine, I'm going to be honest. So I actually had to order one specifically to do the mini-series, but I think I misjudged it. It's better than I seem to remember. However, the only thing I would say, one of the reasons I was not a fan, is it is fine tipped. Can you see how fine that tip is? There's a bubble of glue building up on it as we speak. Let me grab a cloth just to wipe that away. The problem that I have with it is getting the needle back in there, because that needs to go back in to stop the adhesive from drying out. And I find the easiest for me is to actually put the needle on my finger and then feed one into t'other, which does then mean I end up covered in fine tip glue. There are worse things to be covered in, honestly, but that I think is one of the reasons I wasn't particularly fond of it. And sometimes you can find that the lid sticks. So yeah, I think if you're going to use it, you need to use it reasonably regularly. But there are a number of things we can do with it. The first thing I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show you how to do it and then the result. So I have got from the Brewed For You stamp set and die bundle. The dies are Brewed dies. Let me open them so you can actually see what you get. So you get dies for the tankard, the straight glass, the bottle, the I suppose that could be a large glass for wine. You get the die cuts for the foam, plus you get die cuts for the insides of each of the glass things, items, and you get some leaves and a hop. I expect that's a hop, bearing in mind we're talking about brewing. So I have stamped in basic grey and crushed curry this beer tankard, and I want it to be glossy because it's glass. So I'm going to take my fine tip glue. I've stuck it, the die cut, to a piece of post-it, or to a whole post-it, purely because it gives me something to hold on to whilst I am drawing round the outside of this die cut, because the last thing I want is for my fingers to end up in the die cut. So I'm just going to draw around the outside and then around the outside of the handle, or inside I suppose of the handle. So I'm literally just drawing round the shape of the, don't know if you're going to be able to, just about see that, the shape of the stamp, and then I'm going to fill it in. and this also gives you the opportunity to just push out that line if it was a bit not quite on the line. Now this is thick basic white. The glue is wet, which I know is a bit obvious, but it is wet, and it can buckle ordinary card. I've discovered this because that's exactly what happened with my sample, which I'll show you in a minute, and I'll show you what happened as a result. So then you're just going to flood your area with fine tip glue and then leave it somewhere flat. Now, I have got a few air bubbles in here, in spite of having had it upside down. Let me just pop the lid back on. Come on, there we go. So in spite of having had this upside down, obviously it's now the right way up, there are a few little air bubbles. If they're small, you could leave them, otherwise you need to, you need to come in and try to just burst them, and your take your pick is quite good with that. Or you can move them so that they're in the beer, because beer has bubbles. I mean, glass can have bubbles as well. Now that will take a little while to dry depending on how warm it is with you. As I'm filming this, it is 29 degrees in the UK. We're expecting warmer, and I can see that it is already beginning to dry, although it is still quite wet. So as I tip it, I can see that it's flooding. You need to leave it flat. Now if you're leaving it anywhere in a breeze, put a block on it, and I have a block ready to put on it purely to keep it down. So what does that then look like? And the answer is this. Now this buckled, and I put it out into higher heat. I put it in the sun, not a great idea, but it did buckle, partly because I used the ordinary basic white and partly because it was in too higher heat. There are also some air bubbles, but it's in the beer, so that's fine. But you get this lovely gloss as well as a slightly raised surface. The paper I've used is from the, what's that, Male Designer Series paper in the annual catalogue. Don't need that. That was a shopping list. He's the Man on page 78 and 79. So let me move that out of the way. So this is the paper that I've used, but I've used, I think it's on this page, yes, the Brewed For You bundle. If you buy it as a bundle, you save 10% on both the stamp set and the dies, so it really is worth, if you want both, getting the bundle. Just remember to use the bundle code that's down here. Don't use the individual die and stamp codes. You actually need to use the bundle code to save the money. So let me pop that back and come back to my next example. So this is one of the hippiest hippos, which is a celebration set, and the gold and silver paper. This is the silver, or one of the silver designs, which is also a celebration item. I've used the stylish shapes for the die cut, and then I've just coloured this hippo with grey granite and petal pink. Petal pink's the perfect colour for a tutu, I think. And then I've used some of that lovely petal pink ribbon from the annual catalogue, a blending brush and petal pink ink on the white paper, just to give a sort of nice hint of pink behind. Petal pink card base, and it's not that easy to see on camera, but this says you're always on point. But the point of this is you can use it to stick down your sequins. Now these are from the For Everything Fancy sequins. I only just got these recently. Why did I wait? They're gorgeous. They're in the annual catalogue. You get pink, blue and green. Perfect for Christmas, particularly the blue if you want that Arctic, slightly contemporary look. They are just wonderful. Lots of different sequin shapes, some pearls, all sorts. But I thought it would be nice to use some of the pink for our ballet dancer, our hippo ballet dancer. Now some of my pearls are stuck together, so let's just break those apart. So mine have come in little clusters for some reason. Not all of them, just some of them, but it's very easy just to break those up. It's just not so easy to pick them up. Now, it is quite hot today, so this is going to dry reasonably fast. But I'm thinking I want a clean nib. So I want some little clusters of sequins in a... Oops, there's a nice air bubble. This is why I say if you've got what you can do is blow it. Although that will spread the ink as well. This is why I say keep it upside down. Don't shake it. Whatever else you do, do not shake it, because it will go everywhere and be really bubbly. Right, so let's see. Let's have one of these. I need something big on that because I have spread the glue quite a wide area. Press that down. Might actually have a few more of those down here. Oops, I've got something else stuck on there. So we'll have a little cluster of the sparkly sequins. I'm trying to find ones that haven't got anything else stuck on them. It is, as I say, quite warm in here today, which does mean that everything is sticking to itself and each other. So a little boop. Until it dries, it is quite mobile. Let's just pop those in place, hold that one down because it's determinedly moving. There we go. And what I might see if I can do, scary, is put a pearl in the middle of each of those. So let's add some more adhesive in the middle. And pick up some of these pearls. I am shaking like a leaf. Oh. Part of the problem is my Take Your Pick putty is so sticky because of the heat that it's not actually letting go of the pearls once I get them in place. So I'm going to see if I can just pick them up with a bit of huff. Answer, no, not really. Okay, let's see if I can just drop them. They're determinedly falling the right or the wrong way up. There we go. Let's see if I can hold that in place with the lid. There we go. And one more. Again, hold that in place with the lid. No, I think I've got dry glue now. So clearly heat helps it dry. Are they stuck? They are stuck. Right, let's put something different up the top. Something that may be a little easier to move. So I think some of those, let's try some of the flat sequins. I think I'm going to do these one at a time. Excuse me licking my finger. And another air bubble. And then I've just got one more thing to show you, and we will be done with fine tip glue for today. So let's just pop that in place. So there you are, my little, so these were not pre-adhesive as it were, but now we've got some little pearls, some little sequins, so perfect for that. The other thing that they are good for is if you've got small die cuts. Let's pop the lid back on there. So I've got, this is actually a punch, it's from the Sprig punch, and I've deliberately done it in vellum because you may then be able to see where the adhesive has gone, but let me do it again. Here's one I prepared earlier, so I'm just going to draw a line down my stem, pop it in place, and while that's drying I can get my needle back into my fine tip. Ooh, clear my finger of adhesive. And there we go. So this will dry, and it's really strong. I mean, I'm pulling that, and it's breaking the vellum rather than giving up the stickiness. So there you go. Let me have a look at, where is it? Here's the one I prepared earlier. So this is beginning to dry really nicely because it's so hot. And you get that lovely glossy finish. So there you go, 3 things you can do with your fine tip glue: stick down embellishments, stick down fine die cuts or punched elements, and flood an image to make it all nice and shiny. So there you go. I hope you found that helpful. Let me just pop the camera back up. If I can find my mouse, there it is. So thank you very much indeed for watching today. I hope you found that helpful. I will have some more information over on my website, and the post is for this blog post is below in the description bar. It will say associated blog post. If you click on that, there'll be more information and some close-up photographs. So take a look at that. Do remember, if you don't already subscribe, to do so by clicking the button in the bottom right hand corner. Any questions or comments, you can leave those in the comments area below the description bar. And as I say, if you've enjoyed it, a thumbs up is always welcome. If you're in the UK, or indeed most of Europe at the moment, keep cool. Today is supposed to be a very hot day. As I'm filming this, it's not cool, but by the time you see this, it's going to be a lot hotter. So keep hydrated, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. I'm losing my words, it's so hot. Bye bye.